Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jimmy Naftali. I'm a pediatrician by profession. In this channel I want to educate, or rather to create the awareness to mothers especially on common illnesses affecting children. And everybody, remember, knowledge is power. So I want to involve everybody into the management of these small babies. The illnesses that they get, how we do about them, they have an idea. So this is what I do. So it's called the pediatric world. Pediatric basically means children. So here I deal with just children. So and if you're new, join this family by hitting the subscribe button. Subscribe to be part of us. Let the family be as big as possible. So we want us to be so large. So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe. Thank you to those who have subscribed. To the returning subscribers, thank you so much for always keeping tuned. Thank you for always coming back to watch my content. I really appreciate. So welcome into today's video. And in today's video I want us to talk to feed newborns. We want to feed newborns. So how do we feed newborns? How much do you want this baby to feed? So we have two categories. First of all, if it's a term baby and a term baby is a baby that came after the 37 weeks, 37, 38. These are term baby. So these are baby that reached term. That is what being term baby basically means. So these term babies, we want, if it's a term baby and they have 2 kgs and above, these are baby that can breastfeed, and you want to breastfeed this baby as immediately, as fast as possible. So this is it. We want to initiate breastfeeding immediately because they can be able to breastfeed. A baby that is a term and a baby that has got 2 kgs and above, these are baby that can breastfeed. If it's a normal delivery, remember, we want to do it within 30 minutes of delivery. If it's a cesarean section, sometimes we do within 1 hour of delivery because of the obvious reasons. So this is a baby that you want to start breastfeeding immediately. This is a term baby. This baby is not sick. They are so well. They are not sick and they are term. We start breastfeeding. How about if now another 2 categories of a term baby who is sick? We have a term baby who is very sick. A term baby who is very sick and above 2 kgs, yes, but they are very sick. And we have a preterm baby and a low birth weight that is also very sick. So the management is a bit different when in terms of feeding. So what do we feed on? And this is what I want us to know in this video. So if a baby is a term baby, remember we are saying a term baby above 2 kgs, they are okay, they can breastfeed. But a term baby who is sick, now a term baby who is sick, and when we say the baby who is sick, again, remember the things we have talked about. The sickness, we mean the RDS, because there are babies that a baby has been born normally, good kgs, like 2 kgs and above, and they start developing a respiratory distress syndrome. This is a fast breathing and all that, and we have talked about that. I have mentioned this many times. If you are my follower, this is not a new term to you, the RDS, the respiratory distress syndrome. That is one thing when we say if a baby is a term but sick, if they have this respiratory distress syndrome. If they have got convulsions, now this means that the baby is also sick, and other things. So how do we feed these babies? So if it's a term baby and they are sick, we want to start feeding with 60 meals per kg per day over 24 hours. So 60 meals, and it is 60 meals of what? Again, we want to know the day of life of this baby. If this baby is day 1, today, for example, is day 1, that baby has been born today. So this is the baby that is they are doing their day 1 of life. They're doing day 1 of life. So the amount and everything that you want to use is we want to do D10. If a baby is very sick, they are on oxygen. This is a baby that cannot breastfeed. In as much as they are term babies, they are 2 kgs and above, they are very sick and they are on oxygen. They cannot be able to breastfeed. This is what we are talking about. So these babies, we want to start them on feeding 60 meals per kg on day 1. So you want to take these 60 meals per kg. So you take 60 times the kilos of this baby. There are 2, 3, all that. You divide. This is the whole amount. And day 1, if the baby is sick, we want to just do a D10. 10% dextrose. You do not want to introduce any milk on day 1. I hope this is clear. We do not want to introduce milk. So we want to do day 1 of 10 10% dextrose. I've said and I've done a video. Go back to the video and see how we make 10% dextrose if you don't have it, because this is a real one. This is a thing that the dextrose, we have several dextroses, but we want to use the 10% dextrose in newborns. Yeah, so we want to do the one of, you calculate 60 mils by times kg. That is the whole amount. We are not introducing anything milk, we are just doing the 10% dextrose on day 1. So second day, now you want to move from 60 to 80 mils. So the idea is we add 20 mils every day. Every day we add 20 mils. So 60. Second day we want to use 80. Third day 100. Fourth day 120, until the maximum we normally say it is 180. So we add 20 every day. So this baby is sick and they are term, we are starting with 60. How about a baby who is a preterm and they are low birth weight babies? How much do low birth weight, I mean if a baby is below 1.5 kgs or below 1500 grams, the same thing. So and below they are preterms. So we do not want to use 60 like the term babies. This is a sick baby who is a premature. This is a sick baby who has low birth weight. Yeah, so low birth weight babies are premature and they are sick. So we want to use the 10% dextrose just like the term babies, but we want to start at 80. This is now the difference. I hope you get it. So we want to start with 80, unlike the term baby who is sick, we are starting on 60. So the same way we do 80 times the kilos of this baby. This is a baby that is below, any baby below 1.5 kgs. A baby who is a preterm, so below 36 weeks, they came maybe at 32 weeks. We start by 80. Yeah, so we do 80, and this is the whole 80, the whole amount of, again, D10, the 10% dextrose, just like the preterm. The only difference is that the term we use 60, the preterm we use 80. We start by 80. So we start by 80 for preterms and the low birth weight babies below 1.5. We start by 80, we go to 100 day 2, day 3 we go to 120. Yeah, like that. Again, we add every 20, but we are starting with 80, unlike the term sick baby that we are starting with 60 mils, and we are just doing both of them, we are doing just D10. I hope we are together up to that point. Now how about day 2? For a term baby who is day 2, we add 20, now we are at 80. Yes, if you are getting me right, correct? So a day term baby, day 2 it's 80. For a preterm baby, day 2 it is 100, because we are saying we are starting with 80 this side, and this side we are starting with 60. So what do we feed on? What it is determined by the condition of this baby. Remember, we are saying this baby had conversions, this baby are very sick. If the baby is still sick on day 2, now we introduce things we call calcium chloride. We also want to introduce a sodium chloride. We want to introduce these electrolytes. Yeah, so how we do it, we want to add, so usually potassium chloride is usually 1 times the kg of the baby. Yeah, right, 1 times the kgs of the baby. So 1 times the kg of the baby, 1 is constant. Sodium chloride, we want to do 19 times the kgs of the baby. Again, 19 is constant when it comes to sodium chloride. So you calculate calcium chloride and also the 19 here. Yeah, so you recalculate, because now we are using the 80 if it was a term baby, from 60 day 1, second day. So second day we are not doing day 10 and the baby is still sick. Here we are not only doing D10, so we are doing the 3. So we want to continue with D10, but we are going to introduce the electrolytes, now the calcium chloride and the sodium chloride, in day 2 if the baby is still very sick. Yeah, this is it, but you use now the 80 because it's day 2. If it's a low birth weight baby below 1.5 kgs, a preterm baby, day 2, when we enter day 2, we are going to have what? We are going to use 100 mils per kg per day. So 100 we introduce, we do sodium chloride again, 1 we say is constant. Sodium chloride, potassium chloride, sorry, it's 1 times the kgs of the baby, 1 is constant. Potassium chloride is 1 times the kg of the baby. Sodium chloride is usually 19 times the kg of the baby. The 19 again is constant. So you add the 2, then you subtract from the full amount. The full amount was 80 times the kg of the baby, the whole amount. You subtract these 2, the remainder now you get is now the D10. Right? Are we getting it right? Now it's the D10. So that is the day 2. So you continue using the electrolytes if the baby is now day 2, every day. So day 3 we use, if it was a preterm, preterm low birth weight, day 3 they're going to use 120. If it's a term, day 3 they're going to use 100. Like that, we add 20 depending with how the baby responds. So if our babies after day 1 they did D10 just full completely and they are okay, now we are not sick day 2, we do not need to introduce those. Instead of using the sodium, the electrolyte, the sodium chloride and potassium chloride, instead of using those, what we do now, we want to introduce EBM, express breast milk. We want to stimulate the gut. We want to stimulate this the gut of this baby. So we want to use, and how are we feeding to stimulate this gut of this baby? This is a baby that is on oxygen. So what we do, you want to put an NG tube. There is a video again I did on NG tube insertion, how we insert the NG tube in these newborns. Yeah, it's a way of feeding this baby, and we usually use it so much especially in the newborn units, the NBU in the nursery. Yeah, this is the mode of feeding to babies, most babies that are not well, term baby that is sick, and also the preterms because they cannot really breastfeed. So this is how, and this is what we do. So we continue feeding. We start with 5 meals. So we tell the mom to express the milk, at least start with 5 meals. Yeah, and remember the 5 meals, you're going to subtract it from the total amount that we have. So for example, if our baby is day 3 of life and this is a term baby, yeah, so this is the time that you're introducing the 5 meals to stimulate the gut. How do you do it? How much are you giving day 3 of a term baby? So day 3 is, I hope you are right, it is 100. Remember, we started with 60, 80, 100, day 3. So 100 meals, you calculate 100 times a kg. That is the full amount that you're supposed to give this baby within the whole day. Yeah. So remember, there is a KCL if the baby is sick. We have a sodium chloride, so you add the 2, and our baby has started getting our EBM, the expressed breast milk. So if they are getting 5 meals, how much are we giving 3 hourly? So you want to do the 5 meals times 8, that is 40. That is 40, right? Yeah, so the 40 you want to add to the sodium chloride, the electrolytes, and the potassium chloride. You want to add all of them. I'll add all of them, then you subtract again from the full amount, the 100 times the kg. I hope it is making sense. I'm trying just to make sure that you are trying to get. Yeah, so this is it. Just know that newborn, we start with 60. The major thing, we want to start breastfeeding this baby. If they are sick, there's a way we start introducing this. Yeah, and there's ways of even feeding. We are saying like the NG tube. So this is it. I think I will leave it at here at least, and I hope and I believe that you have gotten something. Yeah, so that's how you do it. Now a baby that remember, the baby below 1.5, they cannot be able to breastfeed and they are sick again. So these babies, they will always have the NG tube. We insert the NG tube because this is where the mother measures, and we tell them how much to give. Every day we add the EBM. Remember, the idea is to stop. The idea is to withdraw the IV fluids. The IV fluids are these calcium chloride and sodium chlorides and the D10, the 10% dextrose. The idea is to do away with them slowly until we are left with the EBM, with the expressed breast milk, and we continue until our baby can be able to breastfeed. So NG tube is for which babies especially? So the nasogastric tube is for these babies that if the baby still is below 1.5 kgs, we want to use the NG tube because they cannot feed again, like we are saying, if they have improved. Now, if a baby is between 1600 to 1650, around there, you start now cup feeding. The baby graduates from using the NG tube and they graduate to cup feeding. Now you want to give this baby using the cup and they are able to suck. So if the baby has at least 1750, 1800, you try to now attach the baby to the breast until we are able to breastfeed. By then they will have now developed the sucking reflexes. So remember, we are not leaving these babies just like that because they don't have a sucking reflexes at birth. Yeah, if they cannot breastfeed immediately, because we are saying we want to breastfeed these babies after birth immediately. How about these babies that cannot be able to feed? This is how we do it. We call them the IV fluids, the sodium chloride, potassium chloride, and also the D10, the 10% dextrose. So all these calculations is what we feed these babies on. So otherwise, if you do not feed and wait until when we be able to feed, we are going to have hypoglycemia. The sugar starts coming down and it brings us other problems. Yeah, so this is it. This is, we just don't leave them like that. So we graduate from the NG tube, feeding using the nasogastric tube. We graduate from there to cup feeding and now to breastfeeding. I hope this is clear, and I'm going to leave it at that for you to digest. So thank you so much. I thought it was good to know how we feed these newborn babies in the newborn unit in the nursery. Thank you so much for keeping tuned. Again, if you're watching my videos and you haven't subscribed, because the large number is watching my videos but they haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe. Let us be many. And we also, I ask you, please kindly watch until the end. Watch the video until the end. Don't skip the ads, the advertisements that come in between. Please watch until the end, all of it. And thank you so much for always keeping tuned. Till next time, bye bye.